Hi, Carol here, and welcome once again to my craft room. Tonight I would just like to, meet together and try some techniques that are good for vintage and shabby chic. They are two of my favorite types of cards to make, and I was going to enter a couple of challenges, and I needed to get out some of my vintage cards so that I could participate. And I was looking at them because sometimes I make two of every card, as everybody knows. And I was going through them, and clean and simple card makers, I think, find it difficult. Maybe not difficult, but don't like to stream out into vintage and shabby chic because it's very grungy. It's very unclean and unsimple. It's very simple, but it certainly is not clean. If you love to get your hands dirty, this is the thing to do. And I remember doing this card as one of my favorites. It's just one of the ones I kept. I need to give it away. One, because it has tea stained ribbon. That's one thing that is synonymous with vintage. Shabby chic. Baroque embossing, and this was made with a tea bag. See how you can see through that? I just cut a tea bag, took the leaves out, and stamped on the tea bag and put it on this card. And it's a birthday card right here. But I wanted to just take the time to maybe show you a few things that might be helpful to vintage card making. It certainly has its place. I think everybody really loves to do it, but some people find clean and simple much, and it is as challenging. Don't get me wrong, it is as challenging as vintage. But it's preference, what you like what look you like. And I certainly like the look of shabby chic, and this is the inside here, because it allows you to do every portion of your card, kind of like a canvas sort of thing. And I go back to just see certain things. I'm just going to run them by you that stuck out to try and implement it into other cards that I do. This one was especially fun to do, these little magnolia images. And then you have, it opens up and you have, you can just let your mind go wild. It's just I don't think this one is so much, but I like to give gifts away in little bags, these little bags here. And I did this one up, and it has a little card in here, and the front and the back of the bag is decorated. So that there are a few ideas, but I thought I would sit and just relax this evening and show you a few other things that you can do if you want to get that feel of vintage shabby chic look. And one of the things you can't get away, I was cleaning, see how I jump, but I was cleaning some of my stuff in my china cabinet, and I was drawn to the lace. Isn't that a pretty set, like tea set? I love teacups, and I was drawn to this. I'm going to do a card with these three teacups in mind. The way that they are decorated is simply beautiful. And so I brought them upstairs to my craft room, because sometimes if you just stare at something long enough, you will be inspired to create something. So in the little bit of time we have left, let me just show you a few things I like to do as far as vintaging out a card. Now, one nice thing you can do is emboss an image like this, and then you can take it to two levels. You can use the rub and buff, the gold rub and buff, and go over this, and then make this part of your card, don't mind my fingers, I've been experimenting here, your focal image. Then there's another thing you can do if you take tin foil. And I'm telling you, I had no tin foil. It took me half an hour. I was looking for tin foil. I finally had to go downstairs into my oven at the bottom tray because I knew it would be clean because I haven't used my oven for a while. And I heard some tin foil. Don't tell anybody. Isn't that pathetic? You go down into your own stove to grab tin foil. I was desperate. I was one desperate woman. So what you can do is, if you take tin foil and you go over it like this, I like this for journals. When I'm doing a cover page for a journal, which I have been asked, my ring just wrecked that, but I want to show you something. I've been asked to do a start to finish journal, vintage, and I'm going to do that this week. And I want to show you, if you just do this to the embossed area of a cardstock with the tin foil, yes, you can see that, right? But look at, if you take this same, I'm going to sit down now and we're just going to play around with some ideas. Hopefully you can see that, and I'm going to grab an extra stick of glue just in case I run out here, and heat up your glue. And my there, I just have to stretch my cord. Then take your glue like so and decorate right over top. Don't mind the strays, you can take those off like this. And you have to be a little bit more careful than what I am doing, because I'm just trying to show you. Let me put that stick in there. I just thought I had a very bad migraine today and I have not done a thing all day, so I was really glad I was caught up with my housework. And I just came into my craft room to see if I could just relax my head and craft. Nothing more relaxing. There we are. So let's just do that part. Let's let that dry over there. And then I think I want to put a sentiment on there. We can just do hello with our glue. So take it down, move this out. There we go, start it over, bring it up. You're going to have this going here. How about I just do hi? That's not going to matter right there. Grab that. I'm just saying you don't have to make it this big either. But I would take a pencil and I'd pencil this out so it's even. It's not, just thrown on there. Make some nice even marks. I'm just sharing some ideas that run through my mind when I do this sort of work. And it's already drying, which is nice, but I'll set that there and then we'll get back to it with our tin foil. Another thing I think is especially nice if you are doing vintage, take your cardstock and take a piece of, well, first of all, these sticky things that we take the lint off of our skirts and coats and things of that nature. I use these when I do my lace techniques. If I can get a hold of one. I use the old ones, and I like to grab, I should run downstairs and get one that's not so, I'm going to pull this. I just want to show you. There. Okay, let's take this old part off. And these are very sticky and they work, inexpensive. You get this whole roll for $1 at the dollar store. And it's fantastic. There we go. So take your lint roller for $1. How many sheets? You'd get at least 150 sheets of this. Okay. There we go. Alright, so let's roll one out. I mean, you don't have to go buy expensive things, supplies, when you have this kind of stuff hanging around. There. Alright. And then you are going to take, let me set that there, take a runner and grab one here. And let's just put this down. You can use wet glue, whatever you want. There we go. And let's lay this out with the sticky side up. Like so. Turn it around. Okay. And I'm going to grab some tape. Like this. Tape that down. Like this. Good thing we're not doing anything with it. It's already stuck to my table. Isn't this funny? This is sticky stuff. There we go. Okay, so you want to take that like that. This is just for teaching purposes. Okay, so I can go like this. Put some runner down there. And put that down. And there you have double-sided sheet. I want to put that down with something better than that. Okay. Doesn't matter how it looks for now. I'll show you what we're going to do. So you take that and then you take a nice piece of lace. We're going to do a few things with lace here. So let's cut one preferably the size of the project, like so. And however you want to, I think I want that to be there and those to be there. Squish it down like so. Now you have different things you can do with this now. You can take, let's take our Brilliance Gold. This is brand new. I have not even opened it up. And you can rub it across here to have some texture on the bottom, and keep this on here because it looks really pretty. There we are, like that. Don't forget to put this back on. And then you can take some sprinkles that I don't have right here on me, but what I can do is, for time's sake, I'll take out some of this embossing powder like this. We can do it this way too, but your sparkles that you bought, a million of them when you first started stamping, and you have every single color like known to man, like I do. Okay. And we'll grab this. Let's cut this off. Like so. There we go. And I want to put it on another card. Like this. Just for the garbage. I'm not going to put this back in because I will reuse it. Or there we are. And then let's take this up off of here like so. Now if this was sparkles, you'd get more of a reaction to this, but this is still beautiful. Let's cut this off, and this will make a beautiful background for a card. Absolutely stunning. Tim Holtz scissors are perfect for this. And then you can spray it with hairspray and it will stay. You will not have to worry about that running. Let me get that up close to you. There you have a beautiful, beautiful backdrop for a card. You put a bow, you put a sentiment, you put some flowers on that. There's nothing on there. Let's try just for curiosity's sake to see. We don't have Versamark underneath there. But let's see what happens if we do. Let me get that in the garbage. If we do decide to heat that up. I don't know that anything, and all this is that sheet, our lint sheet, $1 at the dollar store, and you get, I don't know, you probably have 500 of these sheets, and there are 1,000 ways to use this as a sticky sheet. Love this. Wait till you see this. It is embossing on that glue. Oh, my shattered nerves. This is beautiful. Who'd have thought that that glue on there would hold this like Versamark? This is why you have to experiment. Just sit and experiment. All right, let me show you. Is this not beautiful? I will make a card out of this. It looks like fish scales. I have to show you this close up. It is stunning. Absolutely stunning. It looks like pure gold was poured on this image, and all you need to do is get textured lace. And then another cool thing from the dollar store to add vintage to anything is to grab these corners. You know, like we used to put on our pictures in the 60s? Grab these and put them on the corner. It's already got the stick on it. And isn't that beautiful? I'm just showing you some suggestions that I think of when I go to do some of my projects. Another thing that's absolutely awesome, if you grab another sheet, is to take lace like this and then take any color ink. I'm choosing to use this yummy Blackberry Bliss from Stampin' Up. Hold it down onto your paper like so. Keep it right there. Like that. You have the colored lace. I didn't press hard enough on that one, but you can either use the lace on colored cardstock, like so, or you could make, it looks really pretty if you use a doily. On a doily, isn't that gorgeous? Or make a flower. Let me show you what I do with this. I would take it and cut it, and it's a stencil. It's a stencil for mixed media backdrop. Absolutely love it. Look at that. This is the kind of thing I absolutely love doing. Another thing that is awesome. Let's bring our tin foil back from my oven. Let's grab our sheet, and where we put the glue here, let's put this on here, and this, my friends, is going to be absolutely beautiful. Okay, let's cut this out. Just say we're just wanting to use this piece for the side of a card. I just want you to get the picture to see this. Rub it. Take some rub and buff right here. and go over the letters with your Rub and Buff. And Rub and Buff goes a long ways, so keep going with it. There we go. And you would never know that that was a bunch of globbed glue underneath. And cut it out with a heart. I'm just going to give you some idea here. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that edge. For just the side of a card to use that is beautiful. So say we took this and we wanted it just for the side of our card with some Rub and Buff. Just take it and it's beautiful. I think this one outweighs it once you put the glue over top, so you get some really nice dimension. So that's just a thought. And this just totally blew me away. I did not think it would heat emboss on this roll of lint remover. And this is the most beautiful sheet I have seen. I've already got a couple of cards in my head I'm going to do with that. Another thing I thought of doing quickly for vintage is, I was working on this. If you have ribbon, is making, let's get this back so we can put this on here, is making ribbon roses out of your ribbon. See this one? And all you do is take a pin, and I lost my big darning needle. But here's what you do here. You draw a circle like this, put a hole in the middle with your needle, and you are going to take some ribbon. Let me unhook this. I think it's called the spider rose, if I'm right. And it's beautiful. Now I don't know if I'm going to get this in this needle. This needle doesn't seem to be big enough, but we will see. Threading. Oh, look at that. Okay. There we go. So thread it. And here's what we're going to do. You're going to take a pencil or a pen, and we're going to pie shape this. 1, 2, 3. Like that. Okay? Then you're going to come up through the center, like so. Pull it through. Then you're going to come down here, pull it through. Hopefully we have time for this, because this is absolutely awesome. And then I'm going to show you some. Come up through the next one. This, come down through here, come up through the next one, down through here, and you can go right down through the thread so that it doesn't make a big hole. Just a second here. And you know what, this one's being a tad difficult. Let's see if I can pull this out. There we go. Okay. There we are. Then you're going to come up here. You're just going to cover those lines like so. Go down through there. The easy part comes next. Come up here, and then you make your rose. And this goes on a vintage card. Right onto the card, or you can cut around this. It doesn't matter. But it's a beautiful rose. Look at this one. Isn't that gorgeous? And just so many ideas that are, you know, unless you take time in a segment like this, where you're just showing a few ideas, it's hard to stop, you know. Okay, so we have that. So now we're going to come back up through the middle. right, let's see, right here. And here's where we start our rows. Whoop. Yikes, I went through there. Didn't want to do that. This should have been easier, but I'm flying live, folks. Flying live. Let's back this up. There we go. Bring it up through. Hopefully, oh my. Okay. I don't know what happened to this one. It had a knot in it. That's not good. Okay, let me back up. Let me take that off because I do want to show you this. Nothing fizzes me. There we go. Pull this through. It got knotted. There we are. Okay. Let's start this again. Okay, I'm going to leave this one like this because there is another flower. I used to do a whole lot of, I'm going to tie this off, of different flower techniques early days. Let me tie that off. I can show you this one. Okay, so let's come up right by here. Don't come up through the ribbon. That's what I was, see, I did it again. Okay, I think I'm going to move on with this one because I was doing so well with this. There we go. There we go. I was doing so well with this one, wasn't I? There we go. So what you want to do in this spider rose is this. I'll make that a knot for the center. Come through with your, let's pretend that this is on the bottom. You're going to come through there, over the one, under, over, under, over, under. And it is going to make a cool, cool rose. I wish this was, I did it right here, but go under here. Don't panic because what I do is I look at it and I see, okay, that didn't work. Let's see what I can create with this. I can create another flower is what I'm going to create with it. There we go. That's another thing I want to encourage everybody. Don't give up. It's because something doesn't look exactly like that beautiful thing and you got this big ugly thing. It's not going to be ugly. Watch. It's actually going to be very pretty. Because as artists, we envision things. And I always try to envision pretty. Let's hold it down, bring it to the end. I need some more thread. Come up through here. Ribbon is ribbon.